Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Lockheed Constellation from A2A simulations, which what I'm trying to think, are they called A2A simulations? Yeah, I think so. Who makes really great aircraft, and this is one of them. And we're here at Philadelphia Airport, KPHL, flying to LaGuardia, New York. So just a short flight, but I thought it would be good because I don't think we have featured this plane on my channel before, and it's a great one. Very high fidelity system level, or I guess almost at the simulation level, if not at simulation level, I guess. And we have the freeware airport for KPHL, Sun Sky Jets, like that, right? Pretty nice. Not the best though. You see it's freeware, but it's an upgrade. A sizable upgrade from the default. We also have, I think it's Alpine Simulations, the downtown for Philadelphia. I think they have a bit more photoreal around, but I removed it because they didn't have any autogen, so I just have the downtown for it, which looks very good. I like their kind of high rises that they make. I don't have any photoreal for Philadelphia yet, but I have for New Jersey, Delaware, New York. So basically everything that we will be flying through on our way. I think I also have Connecticut and Providence and Massachusetts. So yeah, but yeah, I need to get some more. Some of my next on my list is Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana. I'm building kind of further west. But let's see. But yeah, let's get get on the road, get started. The outside, as you can see, very beautiful. Not much complaints in this regard. PBR, very nice. I guess one, not sure, lacking item is that you don't seem to have any cabin on the exterior, but I guess that's good from a frame rate perspective. And it's not really what's important, right, when you're flying, but would be nice, of course, to have it. The interior is pretty nice, but maybe not as nice. I mean, it is an improvement if we compare to the Stratocruiser we flew a while back, but it's not crazy. I mean, it's I think this A2A more focuses on the technical side of things. So I guess a bit of a like TOLIS, but for P3D in that sense. But yeah, it's a very nice model. I think most things work, like you can open the windows, also that sort of stuff. And we even have the GTN here that I've been able to set up. And we're flying actually VOR, so let me see if I have. I need to move a bit my browsers around. I think also in terms of the exterior modeling from the interior, it's pretty good. You have the nose, and you have the engines. So you have kind of enough to, like, it takes it from delivery, right? So that's pretty cool. I don't think it's all of it though that's rendered from the inside, if I am not mistaken, but sufficiently enough, right, to look pretty good. In terms of flying this beautiful bird, I don't think it's that difficult. I'll forget some things. It's been a while since I flew it, which you can probably tell from all the different videos I've done. But if I remember correctly, it wasn't that difficult. We'll do shift 1. That was nothing. Shift 2, you have the crew reports, that sort of things. Gotta move it to my other screen. Shift 3, you have the controls, all of these things. You know, the main door, the cargo doors. We're not gonna fly career, but you can select it here if you want. That's kind of how you get the boarding done. I'm actually gonna set that up already just so we don't forget. We're doing flight number. Probably something similar, right? Oh no, 511. And we're only going to be flying at 5,000 feet. Do not ask me why we're flying that low, but that should be fine, I presume. I think, let me check Prepar3d as well. Yeah, 5,000, but it's going to be a nice visual kind of experience. In terms of the aircraft itself, we do have it here. We can just do like 40 people. I think we have Transworld Airlines boarding, do we? Nope, we do not. So I'm gonna do something sacrilegious and use Panam. And then in safety we do have Transworld Airlines. So let's start that. And I don't think there's too much else. I think the GPU you can call from here, right? You can start the batteries first. And that's this big switch up here. So we'll start the batteries first. Then we can ask for the GPU, which you'll need. We don't have an APU in this old bird. I mean, we're talking 1940s tech. This is old. Very old. Older than the DC-6. I think the only older aircraft we've featured on this channel is the DC-3. So keep that in mind. And it's not much older than this one. Let's see. I don't think there's anything to do up here. Down here, I think you wanna open the cowl flaps. If I'm not sure you need to open it all the way, but at least a bit. It might actually be worth opening. What I do is I usually control these settings and then I put on the flight engineer once we're up in the air, just so I can focus on the flying part more, and so he can, you know, set the things correctly. Won't be that much work today. We won't be using the superchargers because we won't be going up to such an altitude. But you know, he can fix all the things that we need to. In terms of payloads, I think we can do medium on both. So that should be fine. You also have this nice kind of, I don't know what to call it, like a GPS, where I guess you can see different information, but we won't be using that. You also have this for the engines. We will just do overhaul, hopefully they don't break. The funny part is that when you do the replay, they will break, so that's a bit interesting. In terms of career, I haven't used the career mode, so that's been one of my things that I want to do. But you can see here, kinda what you can experience, right? Oh, you can choose the money if you want to sit in this era or another. Apart from that, we should go back here, and I think here you start the radio master. You also want to start, I think, this master. You can choose between heater and cooler. Should be fine. We can do ground blower also. And let's have a look at our weather, if we can get that to open up. There we go. Okay, no, that was not too useful. Let me see if I... There we go. So in terms of departure... Come on. No altimeter. That's very strange.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat,
Maybe we have the closest weather station. Huh. Okay, interesting. We won't be doing anything with the altimeter then. We'll assume it's correctly set. I think this aircraft, at least originally, was a 4 cabin crew. And maybe for all of its lifetime, I guess. You would have the navigator here. Then of course the flight engineer there.
In an emergency exit row, please leave the exit seating
We do have windshield wipers. I'm not sure if you have rain effects on this one.
Please make sure
I
you
haven't,
are willing and able to
don't
perform the
remember.
actions required.
I would assume you do,
Or
but
prefer not to perform these
I
actions,
do not
please
know.
let a flight attendant know so you can be received.
We can start the
Feel free to
passenger
use your cell
light,
phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask
beacon
that
light as well.
their larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank
You have the
and welcome
frequencies you
aboard.
can select here. You have the landing lights, strobe lights. We'll do the tail lights as well and nose light. I guess nose light might be the taxi light. So not that many other things here that we need to set up. But we can do our GPS because we have a pretty short flight plan today. We'll basically fly from 27. We won't be using any like departure procedures. But we can of course add the waypoints. So ARD, LGA, and then okay, so I guess we're flying to that, and we can load the procedure for the approach, which is ILS-04. We'll do the vectors. And you'll see our journey will come down here from Philadelphia up to ARD and then to LGA. We'll be flying a nice kind of here. We'll probably start. Oh, you see, it starts already up here at Varas or Sotim, maybe. Now Varas, I think, is the first waypoint. But let's see what we're getting vectored. I'm gonna see if I can change how this map overlays. Hard to. Yeah, okay, maybe we want the topo actually. Yeah, so much. Oh yeah, that was the detail, right? We can. Yeah, that's a bit easier to to see what we're doing. Of course, on the sad part, we don't really have the details here on the ground. So for example, if I do full details, we'll have the airport here as well. We're taking off from 27 left, so we're quite close by to it. Okay, boarding is complete by Pack X. So we are ready to get going. I'll start the auxiliary pumps.
Our flight time will be roughly 2
That
hours.
should
Now
be
that the cabin door is
sufficient.
closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large
Once you
devices
start the
are not
engines, you
shut
should
down
actually
and
always
stable.
select these fire extinguishers for the engine you're starting. I'm not gonna bother, I'm just gonna put it on.
Flight attendants, please prepare cabin
I'll
for
put it on
departure
engine
in
4.
5
We can do the no smoking, the fasten seatbelt sign. We can put all these to on. I guess we wouldn't do it in real, the magnetos. Looks like we have, let me go and check shift 3. Looks good, looks like we're ready. Let me check, was there some light landing, nose, passing? I think we have most of the lights on. Let me see, what's the nose light? That's the nose, okay. Then we have the pitot heat here. But okay, yeah, let's get started in a jiffy. I'm just gonna quickly set up the pilot to ADC as well. So hopefully we get that working. I guess that's not the departing runway, but we'll use it anyway. And then the approach. And we'll get the vectors to Rahel. Oh, now because I want to see what are they thinking in terms of the approach. Will they? Okay, that looks good. This looks good. Let's try with this. And let's see if the call sign works actually. We'll file the flight plan as well. Let's switch TWA4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. Yeah, it works. 4,000 feet, squawk 6064. Okay, can we even squawk with this plane? Oh yeah, we can. 6043, right? 6064.
TWA4003 is cleared to Kilo Lima Golf Alpha is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
6064.
Expect
Yeah,
clearance
that was
is
the
2
one.
minutes after departure. Departure on 119.75. Squawk 6064.
Do you have any altitude select? And here we also have the, we can put that on. So we have the transponder. And talking about that, we can also put in
3033 ground on
3033. Okay, so there is, we have the altimeter 3033. Quite a high barometric pressure, and let me just set it here as well. 3033, like that. And what we'll do now is just set in the first VOR point. I guess you do it below, but we have the nice Logitech panels to do this. So 1820. You can see it's finding something, and we have a CRS or a track of 46. So the magnetic bearing is 46. There we go. So this works absolutely wonderful. The door seems to be red, so I'm wondering if we have... Or is everything closed? I hope so. I hope everything's closed. Well, let's see. TWA4003, ready for engine start.
TWA4003 engine start approved.
Engine start approved TWA4003.
Yeah, we won't be able to ask for pushback though because of GSX not doing that when you have your engine started. Okay, so we have engine start approved, and the way you do this, and now I'm gonna have to see if I can remember this, you'd wanna put a bit of thrust. You would only move the one for the engine you're starting, of course, but we're now doing it this way. Let's say we're starting engine 3. So you have the inertia and engage. So I think you do the inertia. Then you prime. Then you're starting 3. There we go.
Power pressure okay?
And then it should be this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen to an important safety
Yeah, so the fuel
demonstration.
mixture, you want to get that up.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to the video monitor.
Yeah. And now we have engine 3 started. So not that more complicated. It depends a bit on the outside weather and that sort of stuff. Okay, so let's start engine 2. Sorry, not the primer. We want to start with, and we can close the primer there. So we're doing engine 2. Inertia.
Smoking is not allowed in any area of this aircraft.
Prime it.
It is policy that for your safety, customers keep their seatbelts fastened at all times while
And
seated.
engage.
Please comply
There
with
we
the no
go.
smoking and fasten seatbelt signs whenever they are
Oil pressure is
illuminated.
rising.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert
Looks
the metal
pretty
tip
good.
into the buckle. To release, lift.
So So now we have 2 engines started, and I guess you wouldn't normally, when you're taxiing out or similar things, I guess you wouldn't need to start all of them. I'm just gonna do it just to make sure, and then put it
There are
on
8 clearly marked exits.
the flight
Four on each
engineer.
side of the aircraft. Please
Okay.
take a moment now and
We don't
locate
need the
those
prime.
exits nearest your seat. Your closest exit may be located behind
We'll do
you.
engine number 4.
In the unlikely event of a power loss to the
Inertia
aircraft, an
first.
emergency floor lighting system will illuminate and guide you to
And
the
then
exits. White
we'll do
lights
as
lead
the
to
next
red
step,
lights
we
and
will
door exits.
prime it,
The cabin pressure is controlled for your comfort. Should
and
the
then
cabin
we'll
pressure
engage
suddenly
it.
change, a mask will automatically drop from the ceiling compartment above you.
There we go.
There is a life vest beneath your seat. Do not remove it
Yeah,
unless
all pressure is
instructed by a
okay.
flight attendant. Thank you for your attention.
So there we go.
Sure all your carry-on items are stowed completely under the seat in front of you.
A bit of smoke coming out of it. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Let's have a look. What does our... Maybe you can't see that now since we have the engines started. Looks like they're exempt. Oh, it's only smoke from the beginning it seems. So that's good. Last one, engine number 1, inertia. Seems like they're starting quite well, so we can go to prime. And last but not least, we engage.
One turning. Oil pressure is rising. Hello from the flight deck. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
There we go.
You picked
And
great
then the
weather to
mixture.
go flying, so sit back and enjoy the flight.
And I'm
If there's
just
anything
noticing
you need,
how loud
one
this
of our
is.
friendly flight attendants will be more than happy to assist.
So I'm just gonna help you guys a bit
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and enjoy the flight.
by decreasing a bit the volume from the aircraft. Even though it's nice, of course. So there we go. Now we have 4 engines started. We can put the generators on. And what I do now is I go here.
Yes, sir.
And I ask them
Setting up the system.
to take control of all of these
APU off.
so let's see. I think he's usually quite capable of handling it. I'm not sure if we can. Oh, let's see. We need to turn, I think. I think that's gonna be the quickest. I'm gonna move back to where my position is, up here. Let's try to turn to the left.
Sir, systems are ready.
We might not clear it. We'll crash into the building. We just nudged it. We'll be fine. TWA 4003, ready to taxi. Okay, let's put on the nose lights. Okay, I will pull back a bit on the throttles. We'll put a bit of trim. I
Taxi
don't
to
think
runway 27 left via taxiways Juliet. Kilo 3.
we'll put
flying,
takeoff flaps.
Sierra 1. Hold short runway 27 right, and runway 27 left TWA 4003.
And then just before we start the taxi all the way down, let me just do some extra, just to make sure, kind of checks. So the first thing we want is the brake pressure. So we want to
Cabin
make
is ready.
sure we get that on a nice level.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff.
And wait, I'm just quickly gonna pause, just need to do something. Okay, let's see, sorry about that, I'm gonna unpause the game and then quickly just put the brakes. Had to take care of some things for the missus. Let's see. Okay, so the brake pressure, right, that one is normal, but then we need to do the emergency one, and the way you do that is by switching that one to emergency, and then you kind of wait for this to fill up. So not that difficult, but yeah, takes a bit of time. Seems like all of these aircraft are taking off from runway 17 maybe? We need to go down there, right? If I'm not totally out of it. Or actually no, we need to... That's runway... Yeah, that's 70, we need to go down right. Now I'm trying to see where it is. We'll go down here, right? Yeah, that should get us towards the runway 27 left. Okay, let's see. It's in the green span, so that's good. We can switch the brakes back. Anything else? We have the seatbelt signs, those things on. We can remove the parking brake. We'll turn to the right here. Oh, we're still going very quickly. I'm gonna throttle back. So we gain like a lot of speed quickly. And the problem is that you're then basically using a lot of hydraulic fluids all the time to kind of stop the airplane. So here we're going past is this terminal. I'm not sure what the terminal names are here actually. But I guess there's a couple of them, so I would assume they're divided into like A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe it's just one main terminal. Okay, let's see now. So now we're on the right path. I'll brake a bit and throttle down. The manifold pressure is quite low though, so let's see. We don't want to go too low. We're below the green band, but I guess the flight engineer will handle those matters sufficiently at least. And let's see. We can't turn too much, right? You have a kind of tight radius for how much you can turn. And I'm gonna just quickly brake here. Yeah, and we'll cross.
Right TWA 4003.
We'll cross the runway here in order to get to our runway, and let's just have a quick look. So we should cross it here and then drive down. Yeah, so we're kind of close to runway 27 left. Since we're crossing a runway, you need to put on the landing lights and the strobe lights in order to have the visibility. I think that's the normal ones, but don't quote me on that, could be wrong. This doesn't look like anyone is landing. And let's say we have like this old, is it a Sperry autopilot, I guess they're called, these ones with the gyro. I do think I remember how it worked on this one. Let me just check if we have any servos or similar that needs to be on. I don't think so. The autopilot here, it is. These are the kind of servos for, or gyro pilot, I guess it was called back then. And I guess gyro pilot makes more sense. Autopilot really makes it think that it's just automatic, right? While gyro, I guess, kinda, you know what it really is, at least back then. You know, just kind of setting a heading, setting a pitch, that sort of things, holding a altitude.
Tower on 135.1
or holding a pitch.
4003.
Okay. So we have been handed over to tower. And let me just check now. TWA 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, let's see what they say. Yeah, squawk is same. Above 1,000 feet, and then we turn right. Okay.
Cleared for takeoff. 27 left squawking 6064, maintain runway heading until above 1,000 feet, then right to 075 TWA 4003.
Okay, so let's get on the center line. I think it's around 100 knots. I don't think it was as tricky in the sense of having to calculate the V1 speed back in these times. Oh, you do have instrumental lighting. It looks pretty cool. But let's see. Pitot heat, that should be on. So that was one of those things I should have tried to remember earlier. Anything else? Windshield heater. Let's see if we get some ice. Hopefully not, but we'll know. We'll see it and we'll know it. And I think we are ready. Looks pretty clear. Looks like nothing is open or closed for that matter. Or yeah, nothing that shouldn't be closed is closed for that matter. I guess the flaps are a bit opened up in this way, but most things should be closed, right? Like doors and cargo holds and that sort of things. But yeah, beautiful aircraft. And now let's get going. We should have quite a high speed. So for the takeoff, we have takeoff flaps in. Okay, let's see. You see we're quickly coming up to 80 knots. So let's see now if we can get the final.
100, rotate.
Okay, rotate. A bit delayed for my, but hey, it worked. Positive rate of climb. And we'll bring those gears up. And the aircraft really becomes beautiful once you have those gears up. That's when you really see the beauty of it.
Gear up.
So the gears are up. That seems to be an aircraft coming in for landing. CRJ, I guess, or ERJ. Let's see. We need to go up to 1,000 feet. Could have been an ERJ actually. So let's see. We're supposed to turn right after this to a heading of 075. I'll pull back a bit on the throttles. We don't need the flaps.
Flaps up.
Let's see. I want us to climb still. Let's see if we can get looks pretty good. You can see here to the right, this is a normal land class. Doesn't look too bad. We're above 1,000 feet, so we're gonna turn right. And let me just check if we have the props.
Departure
Throttle
on
lock.
119.75
That's off.
TWA 4003.
I guess it's the
Departure TWA 4003 climbing to 4,000 feet.
it's the flight engineer, right? That's controlling all of these. But I was pretty sure you could tweak it here. Decrease RPM. So let's decrease RPMs a bit. I'll increase the manifold pressure and I'll decrease the RPMs. So we're in the green band. And push forward the manifold. Or increase the thrust. When you're in the city like this, it's not too bad to have the land class, right? But it's just nothing. I mean, you don't feel the, you know, it just looks like a version of the world, not like the actual world. Okay, let's trim it down a bit. We're almost at 5,000 feet. I can't believe that that's the altitude they would think we need. We need wind heaters on. I think I can already see a bit of, what would you call it, mist fog being building up around the wind screens. We can also turn off the landing lights. We don't need those. Extra drag. And let's see if we are... Well, we're getting there, slow and steady. Climb to 5,000 feet, and we are climbing slowly and steadily. We could climb much higher. I'm not sure why they want us to just maintain such a low... I mean, the distance is less than 100 nautical miles, so I guess in that sense it makes sense. But oh well, let's see. Let's try to get the autopilot. We do want to maintain our altitude. So let's see now.
Center on 132.52, take care TWA.
So that should be the
4003.
autopilot being engaged now. And let's check.
Center TWA 4003 climbing to 5,000 feet.
And we are climbing. Let me see if I can...
Just a little update from the flight deck. We're now climbing to a cruise altitude. These big engines can take us to higher altitudes where the air is smooth for the most enjoyable flight.
We want to push this down actually. But not too much. Let me see, do we have an altitude hold? Don't think so. Here we have the radios, right? That's...
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet TWA
Okay,
4003.
so they want us to descend. Which we of course can do.
Starting our in-flight service.
And we're gonna be turning...
Back for our list of complimentary and
Looks like we're quite on the course now. Let me see. They want us to track 46.
Center on 124.77 TWA 4003.
We need to turn more to the left actually. We're a bit off.
Center TWA 4003 descending to 5,000 feet.
Okay, we're soon at 5,000. Maybe there is an altitude hold. We're quite close at being at holding, but I guess we have to tweak it, right? Okay, we're a bit off again. Let's turn a bit more to the left. Let's add a bit more speed. Let's just make sure we don't overspeed. So yeah, here we flew over the, or we are flying over Philadelphia. Only that building I've had some issues with.
Heading 025 TWA 4003.
I think the problem is exclusions. So I might at some point have to have a look and, you know, maybe try to create some sort of exclusion here. Because it's really nice, the cityscape scenery here. Actually very nice.
Heading 025 TWA 4003.
025, let's turn a bit to the left. We need to turn actually quite a bit to the left to get back on the localizer. So I'll turn 14 actually. Okay, flaps are up. Don't think we need to cage that. We can actually keep the altimeter we have.
4003.
Because we're in the US and I think that it's quite high. It's, what is it, like 18,000? Since we're quite low, I think we could still theoretically open the window, but might be hard to do so just because of the winds hitting us straight on. I'll turn a bit more to the left. The funny fact is that we are tracking almost at 4.2. So the heading is a bit off, or at least maybe not the heading, but you know, we're putting a heading, but of course we're really tracking depending a bit on the winds. And the winds are 39. So maybe pushing us a bit, but shouldn't be 18 knots, 20. Shouldn't be that bad. But oh well. Not the end of the world.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
Are we climbing again? We're going a bit up and we're probably over speeding, that's why.
Pressurization is set.
So I'm gonna pull back a bit on the throttle. Once you start overspeeding with this, and I notice it with most Prepar3d aircrafts, you start to like shake. I guess that's their way of telling you that you might be pushing it a bit too hard.
Expedite descent to 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
So the problem could be that I didn't set these ones right. So that could be the reason for why we have a bit of a discrepancy, right? Between the heading we are actually, might not be wind at all.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
We're trying to descend and maintain that altitude, but it's not the easiest thing. Do we have a DME? Yeah, we do have one. So we're getting very close, 5 nautical miles. We'll be turning to our next one, which is LaGuardia's VOR. That's 113.10. 113.10. The course on that one will be 69.
To 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
Let me see, I can pull back a bit more.
Pressurization is set.
Okay, and then 6, 9. Let's turn to the right. Let me actually see if I can get this on the right. Now we should be getting this.
TWA 4003. Resume navigation TWA 4003.
Let's see, now we seem to be tracking correctly. I'm gonna put this to 6.9. Let's see, we're still descending a bit too much. Must be something that's like altitude hold, right? But it was a while since I used this, so do keep that in mind. Okay, now we're climbing. Now we're on the right. Now this seems to be aligned.
Expedite climb to 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
TWA 4003, contact New York Center on 124.62. Have a good one.
I'll trim a bit
Center
up.
on 124.62 TWA 4003.
Let's see.
Center TWA
So yeah, we have left
4003
Philadelphia
at 4,700 feet.
way back. We are now flying, I'm assuming New Jersey, right? Must be at New Jersey, because we have
Climb to
photoreal, right?
5,000 feet altimeter is 3032
Not the
TWA
best, I think it's the
4003.
RVS photoreal, but it's not the worst either. Let's climb. Oh no. 11897.
Center TWA 4003 at 4,600 feet. TWA 4003, good morning.
Okay, good.
Climb to 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
Okay, let's see. Still looks pretty good. We're not really climbing though, as I would want. Let's see. In terms of the heading, let's turn a bit to the left. So we should be 6.8 now. We're tracking 7.1. That
5,000 feet TWA 4003.
that could be wind related, or maybe just not totally aligned down here. As you can see, it's a very beautiful day for flying. Let's have a look at our... I don't know why with this aircraft I can't seem to open the active sky. I think I've had this issue multiple times. But let's have a look here at our destination. Weather... what? Nope. No luck. There we go. 3044.
Expedite climb to 5,000 feet TWA 4003.
3044. Quite high winds, but not too crazy, 11 knots. The more important part is getting these ones correct. Let me see what they think we are. We are at 5,000 above, yeah. Okay.
Setting pressurization.
How's our engines looking? I'm assuming the guy in the back has a good check on it. He has shut the coal flaps a bit more, which makes sense. They would usually do that. The auxiliary pumps are off. Yes. Anything else? Oil dilution, oil pressure, fuel pressure. A bit of a difference here. Number one is a bit higher on fuel pressure for some reason. Looks good otherwise. Hydraulics looks good. Don't think we have any indication of ice. They might have said something, you never know, but I have missed that in that case. Yes, as you can see, this is a beautiful aircraft. Let's actually try to get a nice picture of it for our YouTube banner. It's always worth getting some nice from the flight itself. And let's see now. Looks like we're holding altitude reasonably well. It's not long now. We're seeing basically the bay already, so we're coming up. Manhattan will be soon in our sights. I wish I could keep the range a bit higher on the autogen, but this is the best I have to get kind of nice frames.
Approach on 120.8 TWA 4003.
So let's see. I'm pretty sure
Approach
Manhattan should be there.
TWA4003 at 5,300 feet.
The one airport I don't have in New York is Newark, and I really want to get that at some point.
Pressurization set.
And actually
Descend
for
and
the
maintain
landing,
5,000 feet TWA4003.
let me see, we are gonna push down a bit, because we are a bit high. Let's have a look. So, what altitude should we be at?
Expedite descent to 5,000 feet TWA4003.
We should be at an altitude of 2,000-ish. Now the approach is a bit off. I'm actually gonna not follow because they're gonna have us fly a bit weird by the ADC. I'm just checking what they have now. We should be at 3,000 feet. We can do this visually, basically. The way
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet TWA4003.
we can basically fly that. So what I'll do is do flight plan, and I will remove this one. I'll activate the approach so we know what to follow. And you can see it's loading in now. I'll switch the heading a bit to the right.
Expedite descent to 5,000 feet TWA4003.
I'll really go back with the throttles. Sorry, we don't want to do that, but we might wanna.
Heading 045 TWA4003.
We might wanna increase the RPMs a bit. And let's go down a bit more on the manifold pressure. Let's turn a bit to the left. So let's see once we get closer. We are ascending quite a bit.
Climb and maintain 5,000 feet TWA4003.
Do you have any speed brakes on this one? Doesn't look like it. I'm just gonna go back to normal setting. I am gonna put on the lights. We'll be in a quite congested airspace. And in order to avoid pilot to ADC messing things up, I'm gonna close that, so we'll lose the ADC, which is nice to hear, of course, but less required as of now. Let's keep 4,000 for now. So we don't need to descend that much. If you continue here, I guess you will have KJFK airport right here. I would assume so, somewhere around here. Okay, let's look. We are seeing Manhattan. That's why I chose this runway, because I think it gives you quite a nice approach, and nice with one of these old school aircrafts. The only thing I gotta be honest about is that it's a bit difficult to land. I have a problem with getting like the back wheels down before the front wheel, but hopefully we can do that. Let's see. And look at those, that's definitely shadows that have been kept by the photoreal. That's a bit annoying. I think this is mega scenery. I think all of the US I have here around is mega scenery photo reel. So that's payware photo reel. So you would think that they removed those. But I mean, it's not a big deal, but would have been nice. Let me throttle down a bit more. Check a bit where we're at. Looking pretty good. Let's turn a bit more to the left. We're still descending almost at 3,000 feet. We can probably soon go full auto, or no, full manual. And get us down. Should be fine, hopefully. So, in terms of the ILS, that's 110.5. So 110.5. The course for the ILS is 4.4. So you can see it here now. We're below the glide slope. We're to the left of the localizer. Let's see now. And I'll continue to turn a bit to the left.
Setting pressurization.
I guess they're changing pressurization depending on the altitude we're at, which makes sense. I'll turn a bit to the left more. I wanna quite nicely align here with the localizer. And here we have beautiful New York. We have some boats. We have World Trade Center 1. I was trying to find if you could get like the old World Trade Center, just because they are quite iconic. I mean, when I think of New York, buildings like Empire State Building, World Trade Center, but it's very rarely that I think of New World or One World Trade Center, or whatever it's called now. Okay, let's see. We still have some ways to go. I'm gonna go a bit to the right. I just want to make sure we actually get on that localizer. Let's see. The only problem with this is because of the range I have with the autogen, it kind of pops in. If I could have one higher, that's perfect. And that's like one below the highest you can have. So imagine if you get a really good computer in a couple of years, you could really play the game to the fullest, right? Okay, let's see. We're still not on the, but I'm thinking I'm seeing the runway. Let's look at the. So we're getting closer to actually getting on the on the glide slope. That's the runway there. So we are really close now. I'm gonna pull back quite a bit. I'm already gonna drop the landing gear, but I'm wondering what's the limitations. Oh, here's the V1 speed, right? You can see those. So they do differ actually a bit. Let me see, it's loading a bit. And I'm gonna take control. It's my controls now. So those are off. Now let's see if we if we can do this. I'm gonna try.
Prepare the cabin for landing.
Gonna try to trim this one out. I'm gonna go to flaps one step. Let me see if we have a landing flaps. Approach and landing. Okay, so we have two different. I think the landing one you just put just before you get down. So let's do the approach.
Approach flaps.
And if I'm not mistaken, you wanna go with full RPMs. I think it's for in case of a go around, right? So it's a safety precaution. Here you can see beautiful New York from the side, Manhattan specifically. Looks very nice. It's the Druzhevsky. So I have such a mix of different things, right? I think this is Imagine Sim LaGuardia. Then I have FS Dream Team for KJFK. So let's see, we're coming in quite nice, maybe a bit slow. We did seem to be able to beat off speed quite quickly. Let's see, we're a bit high on the glide slope. We're getting down slowly and steadily. Maybe a bit fast. Gonna pull back a bit on the yoke. I think we want to be at around 80 for the actual landing. I don't know why, but I've had some issues, you know, some of the autogen. There's not that much autogen here. I'm not sure if it's there's Vec here. What's impacting that? I tried to tweak it, but I just guess there's just not that much autogen here. And I'm using the real world scenery autogen together with the mega scenery. So I guess maybe that's, you know, it's just not the best. Okay, I'm going to flaps full now. And let's see if we can get back with the puppies here. Now I realize I didn't set a minimum, but our minimum would be 283 with the ILS. So it's quite a low minimum.
feet.
400 feet. Okay, let's see with the speed. I'm gonna add a bit more thrust, so we're almost back on the glide. 300 feet. That looks good. Let's get down a bit more. I'm gonna trim it up a bit. Should maybe help a bit with getting the gear down. So that was minimums. Continue. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. Beautiful scenery, but let's hope we can do a good landing here as well.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, a bit of a bounce. Okay, let's see. Not the worst landing, but not the best one either. Now let's brake. Oh, we're a bit low on the hydraulics.
New York. The local time is 11.
But we did it. We got down. Let's turn right here. So yeah, this is a fun aircraft to fly.
We're now taxiing back to the terminal. Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until we come to a complete stop. On behalf of the entire crew, we thank you for flying with us, and please come see us again.
Let me see how you would taxi. I guess we can just taxi directly here to the right. Another one would have been going to the left and just parking at one of those stands there. Oh, let's see. Okay, and I'm gonna go, and we'll quickly go. I'll just stop and then we'll watch the replay. But as you can see, a very nice, pretty nice approach, and hopefully a nice landing as well. But we'll see with the, it was a bit of a bounce, so not perfect, but hopefully clean enough so that we can put it in the hall of good landings instead of the hall of bad landings. And hopefully better than the last one we did in the black box video. But let's see. Okay, so we're just gonna park it here. So we'll park it here. Yeah, it's a really fun aircraft to fly, this one. I thoroughly recommend getting it. Don't know if they have sales, but it's worth the full price. Maybe even better than the PMDG DC6, but I guess it's kind of what you prefer in terms of aircraft type. But yeah, let me see if I can just
Back to you, sir.
turn off the flight engineer. I'm just gonna shut these. I don't think it would do it this abruptly in real life, but we'll do it. Let me just check if I can get the passenger. Maybe I need to open the door, and that could trigger the pack X. There we go, deboarding. 157, pretty good landing. Seen better, but could be worse. Let me see, main exit. Let's close that main exit. Let's go to instant replay and watch that. So let's see, maybe a bit far away. Let's do a bit shorter. 220 might be enough. So we can just watch the landing and then wrap it up. As you can see, the replay doesn't show the propellers, so I guess I could have, or I couldn't have kept them on because I wanted to see the pack X results, but might be of course smart to watch the replay and then close the engines if you want to see more workable animations. So let's see, the approach is pretty okay. We're a bit low at the start, then we're a bit high, then we got back. The landing, should have crabbed a bit more. I crabbed a bit at the end. Okay, we got down with the back wheels. Yeah, at least we got down with the with not the front wheel first. That was my biggest fear because I've had problems with that. So I think it was an acceptable landing, or a pretty good one. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this short video flying the A2A Lockheed Constellation. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And otherwise, yeah, until next time. Bye bye.